And this is an exclusive, and I only just found this out. Literally, it's hours ago since I found this out. Let people know that this is all part of the most beautiful transition that has ever been created on this planet in 40,000 years, when the last grand reset took place. The place of the fear, the frustration and the angst, the tranquility, serenity and trust that the process of what is taking place needs to happen. Hello my beautiful darlings, it is time for another prophecies and blah blah, or grab your pews for news and views, whichever one you want to use. The reason I'm doing this is I felt a bit of calling to you from above because of what's going on in the planet. Ordinarily I should be recording right now a soul school, but this is a bit more important. We need to talk about the elephant that's in the room, because as soon as we go near it, I get a whole world of love, hate, support, and God knows what, which is great for algorithms, but it's not great for mental health. We're going to talk about elections and politics just for a tiny little while. Now, as you know, I'm wondering now if this prediction from a few weeks ago, again, I don't know if there's going to be some leader that's brought down or there'd be an assassination, but they've just shown me that very briefly, is actually been the prediction for the attempted assassination on Trump. Lots of weird stuff going on around the energy of that. The boy, I've looked at his image and I'm like, halvesy. There's a half mental health, really deep desire to create harm, which most serial killers, most people that plan these events actually create a very nice, peaceful, pleasing personality, whereas deep down there is some real kind of evil going on. And potentially there could have been people that had groomed that situation with him. But I'm not going to get too into it. I just want to say that potentially that could be the prophecy that was brought to me by the angels. The other thing is as well is that if you look back to all of the prophecies and predictions, excuse me, that's energy coming through from the spirit world, then you will see that many predictions that the angels bring come true. And I love that because it brings superb validity to this. I was thinking of doing every single prophecy I'd done and prediction I'd done, obviously channeling their information and adding it on. But you know what? That takes too much time. I need to get to you. I've got my book just about to go out, Earthwalkers. I need to get that done. I need to sign off for my angel cards. There's also an interesting TV proposition that potentially could be coming about. So I'm literally trying to get these out in between me doing so many other things and looking after my energy and preserving my condition that is ME. Talking of ME, I will be mentioning that later. There's a lovely little app that my friend Faye has shown me, which is very important, and I want to bring that to your attention, okay? But firstly, let's go back to the elections for the US, and also the change of power, which was predicted by the angels of Labour taking over the Tories here in the UK. The first thing you have to know is that, you know, people say, what about Canada? What about Europe? What about here? What about there? I literally only connect with what they bring me. You know, I do sometimes ask them for information and they bring things back, but it's not like the spirit world. I keep saying the angel realms will sometimes ignore everything I've asked that you want to know and just say, almost like, don't care what you want to know, this is what we're telling you. Do you know what I mean? They're very definitive, very powerful that way. So there is a lot of surges and spikes of energy. If you've seen my recent light ascension report that Lorraine supplied to me, it literally is about feeling fatigued. Lots of empaths will feel fatigued. Lots of people watching this channel will think, why do I feel so? It's because the amount of energy that's being ripped up in the atmosphere, ripped up in the ethereal layers, with people either arguing, powerful, passionate, angry, And of course, our thoughts and prayers go out to that wonderful firefighter who unfortunately lost his life the day of the attempted assassination, and the 2 that are in hospital. It's just crazy madness out there at the moment, especially for the US. And we are now going to be subject of a lot of change around the UK. Some of it's kind of good, but a lot of it isn't going to be great. That's got nothing to do with my opinion, absolutely nothing whatsoever. I have no opinion on any of it. I do have an opinion on wanting to send prayers and love to the firefighters family, but at the end of the day, I'm just reading the energy, listening to up above and taking their tips, cues, whatever they want to say. So this is what I was asked to do. I had a very brief connection in yesterday, and they're talking about group consciousness again, which I did last time. So will you please take this time in respect of lives that have been lost through the ages, through politics. I just want you to now close your eyes for me. Just take a deep breath, just let it go. Take another breath. And the whole point of this, it doesn't matter what your political views are around the whole world, wherever you're watching this, okay? As I have spoken to you and told you before, from the angel realms, there are going to be mass turnarounds, big changes, big moves concerning everything that we know which is familiar, to do with politics, to do with the rich elites, to do with the people who have power over technology. Everything is being thrown up in the air, and some of it will be crossfired and it will not be able to exist. Some will land and be changed by our new leaders that are coming up in our new generations. But at the moment, we need to stand firm, and we need to stand protective in our energy so that we don't allow all of this uproar, all of this change, all of this worry, all of this fear, all of this passion to interfere with our own spiritual way of being. So we're going to do something very similar to what we did last time. If you watched the last episode, we're going to be visualizing ourselves standing with the world behind us this time. So imagine the world's globe, even if you think it's flat. Let's just do this visualization reasons. And I want you to visualize that you are standing as part of a human chain, and that you are holding the hand of another human on this planet, left and right. And if you are attuned to visualization and you've got a very strong, healthy third eye, visualize this whole chain of humans holding each other's hands, circulating and creating a ring around the whole world. And then obviously you reconnect. So there's literally a chain of human beings holding hands surrounding the whole globe. And then from the centre of Mother Gaia, the centre of the planet, from behind you, there is this huge green ray of light, and it spirals out. It literally is a huge floodlight of green light, and it hits the back of your body and comes through to your tummy area. And it's a huge green bulbous light flashing from your solar plexus, just radiating and pulsating out green light. This actually projects its energy out in front of you, so it looks like a mini globe of electrified green energy pulsating. It doesn't matter what size it is, it's in front of you, and it is full of Gaia energy. And also the green ray of Archangel Raphael. He is the Archangel of healing, but he also helps safe travel. But I have gone through the loophole of his definitive remit, and I would like safe travel to change, to be implemented through Raphael's love and healing energy. And I would like to add that this now ball of light that's in front of you, no matter what size, then creates one beam left and right, 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock, and spreads and connects with the solar plexus ball of the humans either side of you. By all means, again, if you have advanced knowledge and know how to create visualization, put animals and pets by your side, connected in this beautiful green band of energy that will connect to every human that does this visualization and create a big band of healing, compassion and love for the planet. Thank you. The Archangel realms are here as my left ear is now in a very high resonance of sound. Very high pitch comes in. Bless you. Thank you. And as we stand before you, Archangel Raphael, we ask that you bring peace. We ask that you bring healing to the people that are suffering or have had bad experiences, sad experiences because of political views, war. But as I stand here now, the relevance of what I wish to ask as I stand by my brothers and sisters is to ask that we create a united front of healing, protection and calm and tranquility around the situations that are developing with the political wars that are taking place, especially in the US, and the change of power and energy in the UK, and for every other country on the planet that's experiencing negative or confusing or fearful revelations from political leaders. We are all aware as portal mediums, and will continue to share the light to let people know that this is all part of the most beautiful transition that has ever been created on this planet in 40,000 years. We are aware that this was when the last grand reset took place. I please ask that we shed this light around the world, around the souls that are still in this world, the children, everybody who's potentially been exposed to this energy that's being thrown up at the moment. Allow us to project that healing around them, even if they're unaware of your love, Raphael. Allow us to feel your benevolence, the peaceful tranquility of your love. Just keep pushing that light out, everybody. Keep pulsing that green light to your brother and your sister either side, to the animals that may stand by your side. Allow us to be protected from the energy of humans and what is taking place at the moment. Replace the fear, the frustration and the angst, the tranquility, serenity and trust that the process of what is taking place needs to happen. We have no idea why negative things happen and positive things take place. However, we must accept there is yin and yang in the universe and keep knowledge and faith in the divine. Now I want you to imagine that you're almost creating a big psychic sonic boom. Just push all of that green energy out in front of you and let it connect on a huge, huge, massive connection with both of your neighbours. So that eventually a big force field, a band of light is thrown around all of you. This big ring like Saturn, creating this massive green wall of love and tranquility, light, calm, sanity. And when you can see that band fully formed around every human around the global universe, or the global planet, sorry. I'm asking for universal energy as well, I will. And then I want you, boom, push that energy like a sand wave out to the space, to the universe. sending it to sentience and other loving beings throughout the stratosphere. Then bring it back amongst yourself and then throw all that green energy into the core of Mother Gaia. Send your love, respect, strength, loyalty, serenity, love, whatever you can think of that's positive, throw it back into the core of the universe to tell Mother Gaia, we're here, we're helping you, we're trying to keep the energies at bay. Thank you for continuing to have faith in us. Thank you for trying to keep the world going. To keep the planet thriving despite its almost demise from how we're treating it. It will change. Send love to Gaia. Thank you, Archangel Raphael. Thank Raphael for bringing this to you. And in the meantime, as you have passed this through you a number of times, this green ray will bring healing, serenity and love to you. Know that it is going to work. Know that you are protected from negative energy. And know that this will take you through your next time that you connect up to the spirit world, angel realm, celestial realms, universe, or as a starseed, another planet. Hold the energy and keep it within you as we go through this session. And then when you are ready, open your eyes. And if you just need to ground yourself, have a bit of water. My mum would say, it's not a bit, it's a drop. Have a drop of water, a bit of chocolate. Just ground yourself. Know that you are completely in an energy where you cannot have anybody affect it in this beautiful green ray of light. If you need to pause, pause now just to give yourself 5-10 minutes. And then when you're ready, come back. So this is a wonderful thing they've started to introduce, because I never planned to do this either. But the powers that be, love it, create all of this as we go along. I had no idea I was going to do that, but wasn't it beautiful? We all need 5 minutes to take time out and just be mindful of our planet, our fellow human beings, the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and just bring it back into some beauty. The more people that do this, the more we can change and influence the process of healing and balance. We can make it go quicker. We really can. I wish people knew that. Keep spreading these videos everywhere you can. We need to share the light. So, darlings, I did bring up Starseed there, and it made me go, oh, do you know what? I remember something. I had a wonderful question. It wasn't a tribe question. It has been in the past, but someone else asked it on TikTok and said, what happens when a starseed hybrid passes to the spirit world? Starseed is a soul that's enlightened or has been incarnated on a different planet to here. Okay, that's the most basic explanation. They are very beautiful souls that are very brave coming down here, because they have an exceptional feeling of loneliness and being alone down here until they find their family. And that's the one thing that I loved seeing and witnessing at the GSIC, the Galactic Spiritual Informers Connections that we do every year, because to see them all recognise each other and know each other and understand each other was a beauty to behold, I'll tell you that. So it's a great question, so I thought I would address it in here as well. Starseeds, do they go to heaven or do they go back to their planet when they pass over? Never been asked it. Perfect question. And I didn't know. Don't know everything, but I went up and asked. And it was Julianus that answered the question. And he basically said, all matter goes back to source, and then it is decided where they go from there. So it appears that you as a starseed will go back up to Archangel Raphael. Ordinarily, you will see your form of where you come from, or where your hybrid part of your energy belongs. So just for instance, if you're blue and tall and you've got 3 eyes, obviously that isn't the case, but do you know what I mean? You will see that form in front of you as a form of familiarity and comfort. And then you'll go through your review with Jeremiah, even though he's creating imagery of that being that you would recognise. After this, you then reconnect with your soul cluster in this infinite space and time, which isn't Earth, it's not a planet, it's just literally the source, the reality layer at the Crystal Palace. And then you'll decide whether you go back home, because you just want one incarnation to decide or experience what it's like to be here, or you may continue to stay here and feed back information, whether you know it or not, back to your home planet, that can, through telekinesis, through meditation, through the alpha brainwave state, so that they can learn more about our ways. Or you can go back to your planet. So you will have that choice after you've gone back up. So that was the definitive answer for there, which I thought was absolutely wonderful. I then didn't expect for this to happen. But then Julianus suddenly had me on this wall, this path, right? And there was a wall that was solid to my right. And the path, I was like up in the sky. So below me were clouds, and then they parted and I'd see the planet below me. And it would be like an aeroplane view. So I could see land, I could see very tiny dots of animals and, you know, that kind of thing. But that was above me. And then there was a very definitive step. And then there was a sheer drop. Okay. So he said, please tell your humans that they should walk away from the wall. And the wall represents... what's the easiest way to say this? The illusions of living as a human, you know, what people tell you that you should be taking and health stuff, and what you should be feeling and what you should be doing politically, what the media tells you to do, you know. Break away and have your individual intuition tell you what is good for your body, your mind, your lifestyle and your soul, not what other people are trying to control you into doing. So he depicted the wall as the negative or the manipulative part of humankind. And he said, why is it that everybody chooses the safety of a wall? Why do the masses choose that, what they hear and what they say? They, the people that say they about the weather, they that say take this next vaccination, they as in vote for us because we'll do this, because they never do they? They never implement it. So just try and break yourself away. And I said, why don't people do it? And he said, because the people that could try and control the human beings, they make you feel like, and this includes religion as well, they make you feel like if you sheer away from the wall, from them, you will literally drop and fall. And the fear, do you know when you stand next to it, and this is a fear that went through me at the time, do you know when you stand on a cliff and it's like your body's saying, oh my God, I don't want to go any closer because I'm gonna jump or I'm gonna get pushed or something like that, and it's so irrational, isn't it? You're like, you kind of grab the ground, don't you? Oh my God, like, and it's literally hundreds of feet below and you start panicking and you're not going to jump off. Nobody's going to push you, but you just start getting this illogical fear of, oh my God, I don't want to go anywhere near that. And this is the feeling I got as I stepped towards the step, right? And he said, just step down. So I said, okay, because I trust him implicitly. And it was another clear path. And this clear path was adjacent to the path I was already on. And it took me off in a completely different direction, full of beauty and love and nature and dragonflies and butterflies and ladybirds. And there was this sweet smell in the air. And there was like almost a song of the seraphim. And he said, this is where you can now be yourself and decide what decisions you want to make by using your intuition that we gave you, by listening to your inner soul, which we gave you, and feeling every situation with your solar plexus. And so I walked along this path, turned back around and went, wow, that's really good. He said, it's not a sheer drop. They're just scared that you're going to take that step to your own freedom. So I found that beautiful in the meditation. I really did. And another thing that he wished to impart, and it's incredible because I did mention this. I've mentioned this many times. And obviously he reads my soul, or the Akashic record of my soul, and addresses things that I've brought up in the past. And I'm going to bring them back up to you again. Do you remember, some of you may do if you've watched me for, you know, a couple of years or so, when I spoke about the biker that came to me, I was doing a demonstration of mediumship at a rugby hall in Kent. And this big bloke, he literally walked through to the back room where nobody's really supposed to come, you know, it's kind of in my space so I can chill out, be away from the crowd and link in. And he opened the door and I'm like, I think I was a bit scared to begin with. I'm thinking, oh my God, because sometimes, you know, you get People say, oh, you told my girlfriend to leave me. No, I didn't. I didn't do that at all. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. I showed her the choices she had. She made the decision, you know, that kind of thing. And, or people that just generally just got issues. And he was a big lump and he had his leather like jacket on, and I'm like, oh my God, he goes, can I have a word? I'm like, oh dear, there's nobody with me, there's nobody with me. So I went, okay. And he said, I need to share something with you that I've kept secret for so long and it's driving me insane. And he said, and I just need, please, for you to help me. I'm like, oh, please come in. I felt really guilty that I had prejudged this wonderful being. And so he came in, sat down next to me, and he said, I basically lost my job, my family, my wife. She wouldn't let me see my kids. I lost every reason to want to live many years ago. And he said, I haven't told a soul this. And so he said, so I want you to keep this, you know, anonymous. I said, of course I will. I said, obviously I will, you know, mention the story to help others, but I will never expose who you are. And so he said, because they'll think I'm a nutter, they'll think I'm a nutter. He goes, I've come here because I've heard so much about you and I just need proof of the angels. I said, well, tell me your story, and believe me, I don't think you needed any more proof. Oh my God. So, sorry I say, oh my God, people keep mentioning this. Well, they don't. There's a couple of people say, oh, don't mention the Lord's name in vain. One, I don't adhere to religion. Two, part of where I come from in Essex, everybody says, oh my God, right? It's just part of our culture. It's part of our language, and I'm not going to apologise for it, okay? So if anybody thinks that I'm using the Lord's name in vain, this might not be the right channel for you. All right, because it is part of my upbringing and it's like almost insulting my culture. So I just sort of put that out there to the people that keep saying I'm blaspheming. Right, so moving on. Didn't think I was going to bring that up either. But do you know what? Sometimes I just got to like identify a bit of barriers here and a bit of my own self-worth, you know. I don't want people should not be able to tell me what I can and can't say. Yes, if it's offensive, I understand, but I'm certainly not doing it, you know, as my intention to be disrespectful of your God or your Lord. It literally is part of who I am. You're lucky that I'm good enough to not get the F words out, because when that starts, it's a nightmare. So this man says, I'm going to go up to London. I don't want to be here anymore. I've got nothing to live for. I'm going to go up to London and I am going to kill myself. So he takes himself up to London. He's written all his notes. They've all been left at home. It's all sorted. And he goes up to London and he decides to walk around the streets and look for the highest building, because what he doesn't want to do is end up jumping and ending up with just broken legs. This is how he's saying it to me. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay. And so he said, right. So he said, so that happened. And I looked around and then I decided that's definitely going to be the one. He said, I found this building. I thought, if I can get up there, I am not going to survive that jump. So I went, right, okay, guys, it was across the road. So I was looking at both ways thinking, don't go in front of a van because you might not survive it either. And I'm thinking, blimey, where is this going, right? Because he was absolutely wanting to go back home. So he literally standing by the curb, looking both ways, and then suddenly he said, everything slowed down. And then it stopped, just like in a movie. And he looked up and there was a man, a really tall man with bright blue eyes, right? Most of you know that's an angel, by the way. Standing there directly opposite him with this long blonde hair, and he went, but the no went, no. And it went through his whole body. And he said, I just literally went, whew. And he went, not today. Right? And then he just sat staring at him. Or stood, sorry, bless you, sorry, stood staring at him. And he was just looking at him and he started crying. And then he just suddenly thought, I can't do this. This is not right. And then as soon as he thought that, all the traffic and the people started moving. Everything had frozen. And he goes, I know you're not going to believe me. You think I'm a nutter. You think I'm a nutter. He goes, but now, he goes, I follow mediums and I do lots of charity work. And basically changed his life. And he couldn't even believe that he was even going to do what he was going to do. And he said, was that an angel? I went, yes, it was, darling. And he just got really emotional. Went, I knew it was. I thought I was mad. La, 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 la. And it was just the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. Right? So take that story. This is the second one. Because this is what Julianus brings up, right? And I'm like, this is years ago I said about this. But for some reason, I need to say it now. There's always a reason. And I bet you it'll be in the comments below why. 100-fold. So the next story is someone that used to be a student of mine, and she again got into a massive crisis of being and wanted to kill herself. So, and again, the diligence and the tenacity of thinking, right, I am going to end my life. She basically couldn't get enough paracetamol or whatever the drug was. I'm not going to tell you what one, but she went and thought that will definitely kill me. So the problem is you can only get a certain amount in one shop here in the UK, right? So she then spent hours going through the town, getting one box at a time in every single pharmacy she could find, right? And by the end of it, she had a carrier bag full, and she knew taking that was going to be her end game, right? She then quite calmly, and she shared this with us after, and we were so humbly grateful, you know, to get this connection with her. And it certainly showed me something magnificent. And she said, I literally had 2 highways, 2 roads, and there was an island in the middle. I had to wait to go to cross there, and I literally then had to walk to my house, and that was going to be the end of me, right? So as she's standing in the middle island waiting for the green man to go so she can cross the road, okay, she then feels somebody. She thought she was getting mugged, first of all. She felt this violent force of energy rush up behind her and take her off her feet, and then she blacked out. The following morning, she wakes up feeling the joys of spring, literally. Birdsong was absolutely beautiful to her. She felt absolutely incredible. She bounced out of bed and was excited for the day. And then she saw this carrier bag full of drugs. I thought, what's all this about? Threw those in the bin, and then started a life of spirituality, healing, going to spiritualist churches, and started to work for the spirit world. That's a soul walking. We found out at the time this was a soul walking. So Julianus said, do you recall sharing this with your humans? So I said, yes, yeah, I did say about the stories, and I've shared them in workshops and gatherings. And he said, you haven't actually got to the crux of how we do a soul swap, have you? You haven't actually explained that. So I said, well, I think I have. He goes, no, you haven't. I'm like, okay, whatever. And this is an exclusive, and I only just found this out. Literally, it's hours ago since I found this out. Do you remember when I said to you about animals are part of your soul? They splinter from your soul, and that when you go back there, they're literally like your twin flame. They're part of your living and breathing energy, you know, and they're part of your immortal energy when you're there, closer than anything that any human can create, apart from your twin flame or your soulmate. There is a residual element which is left up in the spirit world, which is part of your soul. It's like a standby button. It's like a standby bit of energy that your soul can separate from the original soul structure and keep fluid, kind of sentient. It can kind of look like a slumbering soul. It's the only way I could describe it, that's kept up in the Crystal Palace, right? I've got no idea where the chamber is. All he did was show me that, okay? And then what happens is, if you have a soul path where you need to do something important with the rest of your life, or you're going to be a spiritual ambassador, or something needs to happen that you're going to create something for humanity or the planet, but you then get so bogged down with your ego structure and are going to kill yourself, there's 3 things that can happen. One, you can go up and break your contract, okay, which is the last resort. But most people that do take themselves over, it's part of their plan. I try and keep it simple as possible. You either get an angel that will be open to your frequency and change your mind, which is what happened with our lovely biker friends, or if you're so dense and so low and they can't infiltrate by standing in front of you. So this completely turns free will on its bum, doesn't it? Because really, you know, they did get in the way of this free will. However, he could have then, the biker could have thought, this is hallucination, this is rubbish, I'm still doing it, in the last, you know, minutes of his life. The other way is that there's a soul walking, and apparently I haven't explained the dynamics of this. So what happened with this girl that was waiting to cross the road? She was, again, minutes away from her death, right? She needed to stay on board because of the stuff she does now, which is magical, right? So what they did is they incorporate this soul, right, which is almost like a solar plexus energy, because it looks gold to me. And they infiltrate it with an essence of love, spirituality, destiny, strength, motivation. I saw some of Archangel Michael's energy go into it. There was this blue that imploded into it. There was more gold and silver, which is angel essence and grace. And it is filled with everything that soul needs to shake off what the ego structure has created. It then is brought down like the esoteric cord that connects us to source, which is very thin, but as a baby, and I've told you about this, and it's in my book Rise and Fall of Britain's Best Psychic Medium, about in the baby chapter I talk about the silver esoteric cord, where people have come to me and said, what is this coming out of my baby that's just passed, this big thick silver cord, right? And obviously I can't show the photos because that's not morally right, spiritually right. I do not want to show photos of angel babies. But so I then saw this ball of energy come down and hit the back. And this is just brought it to me. I just wondered if this is why in the visualization, which I never planned, that's why it showed the energy of Mother Gaia hitting you through the back and going through to your plexus, because this is what happened. So her thinking that it was a human pushing her and going to grab her was the element of her soul that needed to come in, eradicate all of the ego structure, was wanting her to commit suicide, walk in. She then had to rest and get used to the transition, which is all in, this is pretty much what I wrote about, what I write about in Earthwalkers, which I didn't even realise. And I'm actually realising it as I'm telling you. So I haven't even mentioned this out loud, but actually vocalising it, I'm like, wow, okay? So then this angelic grace that's been thrown into our solar plexus dissolves all of the ego feelings of wanting to end your life, because you're supposed to be kept down here. And then you suddenly wake up a completely different person. Comments below, because I will be putting this in my new book, because which after Earthwalk, which is what happens when we die, because this is just news to me. I'm learning as much as you, darling, every single day. And so that is what soul walkings are. That's what soul walkings are. Isn't that incredible? So that's that, okay? So going back to the soul maintenance podcast is very important as well. So if you haven't watched that, well, listen to it, and you are part of the universe. These are all of your keys to your freedom, okay? Because people go, well, how do I do it? I'm telling you, everything that you ask, I provide for. Look through my videos and playlists, okay? So this is the next thing. This little app is magical, and I feel that if you're worried about what is being put in and around on your body, you need to get this. I am going to be showing you a new haul from Earth in Revolution. Very excitedly, I've been told by Jen and through Clint Ober, the founder of obviously the use of us getting these vital electrons through grounding products, that there's going to be EMF stuff going on as well for us to be protected from that. Oh, no. Obviously there's good energy around us, but then there's negative energy that creates problems, okay? So oh my goodness, yes, thank you Julianus. Yeah, I won't forget that. I won't forget the water. So this app, Yuka, is absolutely bloody brilliant, and as I say, my friend Faye showed me it. Particularly people that have got chronic illness or any health issues, especially inflammatory health issues, okay? we are being given stuff that we trust. The wall, remember the wall, right? Remember the wall of, oh, surely they wouldn't want to kill us off with the pandemic. Surely they wouldn't want to do this. Surely they wouldn't want to do that. Wall produces everything we use, right? And I honestly feel, my intuition tells me that this is part of this is why animals and people get so much cancer. And it's great because with the improvements in health, we're not talking about the pharmaceutical companies, we're talking about knowledge and health and procedures, we're getting older. The problem with that is there's too many people on the planet, right? So we need to cull them a bit and let them have a little bit of carcinogenic crap in the stuff that they use every day, right? It blew my mind. The Yucca app, right, and this is not an affiliate thing, it's not me selling it, right? It's up to you. But it literally reads what chemicals and what damages you in every product that you use. Did you know that sun lotion is one of the worst things you can put on your body? I better be careful with this, as I'm going to end up getting shut down. All I'm saying is, right, rather than enter into places that could get me in problems here, every product you use, from face cream to what you eat, to what you drink, to what you put in your hair, what you clean your teeth with, what you put under your armpits, what you put in your tummy, just put the barcode on the app and it will tell you if it's good or bad or reasonable. And then the beauty of it is it then gives you a healthy or chemical-free or paraben-free, cruelty-free or vegan option, which is just as good, if not better, than the one that you're using. Okay, so if you are having trouble with chronic illness and you are having problems because of health, especially if you've got family that are open to cancer, or you're fighting it, or you have fought it, you really need to look at this app and realise what you're putting on your body. Because all these wonderful natural, like, you know, icons and things that are added to products make them look like they're purely from the ground. I was so shocked, some of the stuff I'm using. So very slowly I'm starting to change my products as they run out. Some of them I've stopped using straight away. So have a look, darlings. That's just one for you, your well-being. The other thing is that I also, Julianus, we sat in this wonderful garden and there was a waterfall. And I said, this is wonderful. And I said, are you showing me about the water conduit that we're connected to water? He said, no. This is to address your brief touch on how fluoride affects you. So this is in toothpaste as well, remember? So you remember when I said that the masses need to be controlled, because if we actually become the full intuitive, immortal beings that we are, and as clever and as open as, you know, like Starseeds and different galactics are, the control will be lost on the planet. Okay, so they have to keep us contained with religion and fear so that we don't break out and stop becoming these enlightened ones. So fluoride, I did touch on it, but it's very important for you to know that fluoride calcifies, and loads of you put this in the comments as well. So thank you. You literally did back up what Julianus said. Fluoride calcifies the pineal gland, and that pineal gland is the seed of your mind, which is one of the first things that Julianus said in medieval Polish to me to prove his existence way back then. He basically said the seed of your mind is, and now I know he means the pineal gland. This is a gland in the body that is an amplifier and a connector, almost a triangular energy of source coming through the third eye or divine chakra, hitting the pineal gland and sending it back out. By calcifying it, we lose connection with source. So that is why they keep bringing water up. The angelic, like they're obviously listening to people say, I can't connect up. Why can't I see? Why can't I see angels? Why do I fall asleep during meditation? Fluoride is one of them. Okay, so I use zero water filter. So have a look, and because it's the most affordable. Some people filter their water and redo it through softeners, and you know, whole units they can plug in, but they cost a fortune. I love zero water. I've just got the £40 one, and I just literally don't drink any tap water whatsoever. And I've changed my toothpaste as well. So it's up to you, take it or leave it, but I just want to help you in every way I can, mind, body and soul and spirit. This is what it's all about, isn't it? So I'll leave that with you. You can make your own choices. I just literally sow the seeds, and if you want to grow them and nurture them, that is entirely up to you. So that's the news for us this time round. They haven't given me any prophecies or predictions. I think they just want us all to kind of have this bounce off energy from all of the transitions that are going on with elections and changes of power in political areas and arenas. And I hope that we all join in and do what they've asked us to do in that lovely visualization earlier. So my darlings, until the next time, also just to say to you, Darren's got loads of new things coming in. I've nicked this abalone shell whale tail. He ain't getting that back. And funnily enough, I've got green agate on, and green was what came through in the visualization. Love the synchronicity. But because again, I'm not a great marketer. Okay, I'm not great at saying go here, go there. There's so many comments saying, does anybody know a decent place to get crystals? Because I don't trust going online. Or I'm like, blimey, do we not make it clear? So, Fifth Dimension Gifts. You can pop over to the YouTube channel for tutorials or go to fifthdimensiongifts.com, and that is his website where new spiritual stuff is bought in every day, including a new men's range as well. So if you've got the man that you really don't know what to buy for, I have one of those. What a perfect thing. Start getting him involved in the old male jewellery. I'll be showing that most probably in another video, because I've nicked one of his red tiger eye bracelets. Yes, I have. So have a look. So I've answered that as well now, because again, I've even had emails. Can you recommend anywhere that I can get spiritual stuff from, jewellery, sage? And I'm like, I'm obviously not mentioning it enough. So there you go, I've mentioned it now. Until the next time, darlings, think good things. Feel these things that you're thinking of. Create them as an emotion. And as you send that out to the universe, along with the visualisation we did, you will get it come back 100-fold. Until the next time, I'm sending you love and thanks for your support. Please like and subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on the next one.